What should I be investing in? This is the number one question that I get asked, whether it's from friends, family, or people that I've just met. As soon as they find out that I'm a financial advisor, they all want to ask me this exact same question, as if I might have some secret stock tips up my sleeve that are going to make them rich. And you might expect me to turn around and say, well, sir, that depends on your personal situation, your attitude to risk, the current positioning of your portfolio, your goals. But that normally just kills the conversation. So I normally tell them about the one investment strategy that I have been using and that we should all be using no matter what our circumstances, and how this single investment strategy can actually net you far higher returns than investing in the stock market. So let me start by asking you a question. What do you think is your most valuable asset? Now, some of you are probably thinking it's your phone or your laptop, or if you're lucky enough to own a house, maybe you think it's your house or potentially an investment portfolio. But then some of you are probably thinking, I don't have any assets at all. But you're wrong. For 99% of you that are watching this video, which is probably just my little sister, your most valuable asset is you and your ability to turn your skills and time into future income. And today I'm going to be showing you how you should be investing in yourselves, in your health and your skills, just like you would any other investment. And I'm going to show you how you can produce far higher returns than investing in the stock market for a lot less risk. Over our careers, each of us is likely to work for 80,000 hours. And if you earned the average wage in America, which is $27.16 for the entirety of that career, you would have earned over your lifetime $2,172,800, or $2 million for 80,000 hours of your time. Now, it doesn't take much to put two and two together and realize that if you were to increase that hourly wage by even a small amount, say 10%, that can add up to a huge amount of excess earnings over your lifetime. So if your goal is to earn as much money as you can, then clearly the aim is to get paid as much as you can for each of those hours that you work. But how do you get paid more? And why do other people get paid more than others? The main reason why people get paid more than others is because their skills are in higher demand and have a higher economic value. Take a bus driver and a pilot, for example. You can train to be a bus driver in a matter of hours, whereas it can take years and years and years to become a pilot. So it makes sense that their skills are in shorter supply. At the same time, people don't really pay much for a bus ticket, but people pay a hell of a lot more for an airfare. Although right now, no one's really doing much of either. Now, obviously, I don't expect all bus drivers to go out and train to become pilots, but they could invest in themselves and put themselves on a training course to drive more complicated vehicles and potentially get paid more. But at the same time, the pilot can invest in themselves. The pilot could use all those hours that they're just sitting there with autopilot on to study for an executive MBA and increase their value. Whatever profession you're in, there are always ways that you can invest in your own skills to increase your value. And the return that you get from making that type of investment is actually likely to be far, far higher than anything that you get from just investing in the stock market. Just think about it. Let's say you are a 20-year-old, you have just landed your first job as a graphic designer. You're getting paid 30K, but your expectation is that as your career unfolds, as you get more experience, your salary is going to go up and up and up until you're probably going to get to a peak of around about 90K. And over that whole career, you would be set to earn over $2.5 million. Sounds good, right? But since you started working, you've been doing a little bit of networking, and you have discovered that UX designers are actually demanding a higher salary than what you're on, say 10% higher. Now, if you were that graphics designer and I was to give you $1,000 to invest, what would you invest it in? You could either invest it in the stock market for an average annual return of 9%, and with any luck, over the course of your 40-year career, that $1,000 could turn into over $30,000. Again, sounds pretty good, right? Or you could invest in yourself. You could put yourself on a course that's going to teach you the skills that you need to land that job as a UX designer. And if you manage to land that job with a relatively modest 10% uplift in salary, you'd be set to earn over $280,000 in excess earnings over your career. That is just insane. And that's with relatively modest numbers. It gets even crazier when you start dealing with higher paying jobs. Like if you were a software engineer getting paid 100 grand straight out of college. Firstly, well done you, you've nailed it. Secondly, you may have identified that if you specialize in one particular area, say something like cybersecurity, you could demand a slightly higher salary. And let's say that was, again, just a small uplift of 10%, you'd be set to earn over $500,000 in excess income over your lifetime. Now, don't get me wrong, I know that I am massively oversimplifying this. Just because you take a course, it doesn't mean that you're going to be guaranteed to get a job. But it is a massive step in the right direction. And with a little bit more drive and hustle, I'm sure you'll be able to get to where you want to be. And even if it does fail, just try again. The potential benefits of investing in yourself are so great that you can afford to fail multiple times and still be ahead of just investing in the stock market. But before you make an investment like this, there are some really important things that you need to consider. The first one is your age. The younger you are, the greater the effect this type of investment is going to have. Take our graphic designer, for example. If instead of specializing at 20, they had decided to specialize and become a UX designer at 40, they would actually earn $100,000 less over their career. And secondly, just like with any investment, you need to do your research because not all skills are going to produce the same returns. As with pilots and bus drivers, it can be very easy to see the different value that the economy puts on skill sets of two very different industries. But when you're in the thick of it, working in a profession, say you're a designer, an accountant, an engineer, whatever it is, when you're in the thick of it, it can be very difficult to actually identify the skills that you should be investing in to get you where you want to be. And my advice for you would be this: get off the internet and start talking to people. I know it can be really intimidating at first, but this is by far the quickest way to get answers from people that are qualified to give them to you. If there are people that you can talk to at work about this, then great. But I often find that you can get much straighter, more honest answers from talking to strangers. And by far the easiest way to do this is LinkedIn. You'll be amazed by the number of people that are willing to talk to you and share their experiences, no matter what your background. The best tactic that I found is to try and connect with people that have been working for 5 to 10 years. They've got enough tenure to know their industry really, really well, but at the same time, they're not likely to have had a lot of requests for help. In fact, most of them would be honored that somebody thought so highly of their opinion. I've actually just got to that stage in my career where people are reaching out to me on LinkedIn asking for advice, and it feels pretty good. So aim for people that are of my age, that have been working for 5 to 10 years in an industry. They will be more than happy to help you. You will be surprised, just give it a go. If you can't find the right people in your existing network on LinkedIn, then I would highly suggest signing yourself up for a LinkedIn premium trial. With that trial, you'll get to send 20 in-mail messages that you can send to people that you are not connected with, they're not even in your network, and I can guarantee you'll get a few positive hits of sending those through. When it comes to the end of that free month, you can just cancel your subscription and you won't have to pay anything. Personally, I think that a LinkedIn premium membership when I'm looking for a job is actually a really, really powerful tool. And ultimately, you should be looking at those monthly subscriptions just like they're an investment. Honestly, I cannot stress this enough, and I wish I had told myself this at a much earlier age, but reinvesting in yourself and learning new skills is going to be the most important factor in your career. Just think about this. For most of you watching this video in your teens and 20s, the job that you will be doing when you're 50 years old doesn't even exist yet. I mean, my current job didn't exist when I left school, and that was only 10 years ago. So the only way that you're going to be able to prepare yourself for this type of career is to learn how to learn and to constantly be reinvesting in yourself. Guys, I know it's hard to see, but you are your most valuable asset, and you really need to be investing in yourself like you would any other investment. If you owned a rental property and you wanted to increase the income that you got from it, what would you do? Well, you'd probably give it a lick of paint, you'd maybe change up the furnishings, or you'd build an extension. Well, the exact same thing goes for you and your skills. The more that you can invest in yourself and increase your own value, well, the more you're going to get paid for it. And it doesn't stop with professional skills. You've also got to look after your health. Because at the end of the day, if you're unfit to work or you're dead, you're not going to earn anything. So remember to be investing in yourself, both your physical and mental health. It all adds up. So guys, I hope you can see why I talk about this so passionately. I only wish that somebody had laid this out for me when I was younger, because I would have taken my education so much more seriously. But I've been trying to make up for that over the last couple of years, constantly trying to invest in myself and learn new things. For example, I don't know if you can tell, probably not, I've been taking a video editing course and have done this video editing myself. Obviously, not much to shout about, but hopefully I'm improving and we'll get there in the end. And just as an ending note, if you do genuinely need help and you're interested in getting into either tech or wealth management, please do feel free to get in touch. I am more than happy to help where I can. So if your goal is to earn as much money as you can, and even if it does fail, just try again. And you have just landed your first job as